All right, we're talking about the Bhagavad Gita. We're looking at different translations of a single verse. Today's verse is chapter 7, verse 24, or shloka 24. I'm going to read the verse, and then I'm going to give my own translation, kind of a word-for-word translation, and then we're going to look at 17 other translations from some of the top translations of the Bhagavad Gita, including like Shivananda and Eknath Iswaran and people like that. You know, some of the most well-known translations, and then we're going to see what some of the issues are with the verse, why people are translating things one way versus another, maybe what is which translations are to be preferred. And I'm working on a book that I hope to release in about 2 weeks now, on November 5th. It's my own translation of the Bhagavad Gita. I'm calling it the Bhagavad Gita, a new translation for students, because it's focused on Sanskrit and also on really trying to get precise with each word, translating, you know, how you would translate this specific word, and also making it a English translation that is readable for modern English readers, contemporary English readers. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to read the verse in Sanskrit, and then we'll go through it, okay? Avyaktam vyaktim āpannaṁ manyante abuddhayaḥ param bhāvam ajānanto mamāvyayam anuttamam. So I'm just going to read the English, then I'm going to read word for word Sanskrit. Though I am unmanifest, the unwise think of me as having manifestation, not knowing my higher nature, imperishable and unsurpassed. So this is Krishna speaking to Arjuna. Though I am unmanifest, avyakta is the word, right? So avyakta, the unwise, abuddhaya. So some people are going to translate this as unintelligent. Some will translate it as foolish. I like unwise, right? Unwise is not belittling others necessarily. They haven't grown in the wisdom yet. But if you call them foolish or ignorant, it doesn't sound as good. I would say, you know, it's kind of like it's creating separation. But you know, I think this is not necessarily. Well, I mean that's a question, right? But I would prefer saying unwise here. So though I am unmanifest, avyakta, and what does that mean? You know, and is that the only way? Some people translate this as formless, without form, invisible, unapparent. Is unmanifest the best translation for avyakta? I don't know. Okay. Think of me as having manifestation. So vyakti, right? Vyakti is manifestation or form or visibility, or āpanna means fallen into, changed into, entered into. So think of me as having taken on a form or manifestation. So the unwise think of me as having a manifestation, right? That I have, you know, what is the import of this? We'll have to talk about that. Not knowing my higher nature, parabhava is higher nature. Para is often translated as higher, or supreme. Ajānanto, they don't know. Mama, mine. Imperishable, avyaya. It's a word you see a lot in the Gita. Avyaya is imperishable, usually translated as imperishable, meaning cannot be destroyed. And unsurpassed, anuttamam. Uttama is like ultimate or supreme. So anuttama would be not ultimate, not to be. In this case, though, it really means cannot be, nothing higher than it, right? Nothing is higher than it. So though I am unmanifest, the unwise think of me as having manifestation. Wait a second, I need to just change something here. It's important because I made a mistake. So I'm going to just quickly change this. So though I am unmanifest, I got the wrong thing here. Okay, that's all right. The unwise think of me as having manifestation. Here it is. Just need to make one little change. I don't want to. I put thought instead of though, so I don't want. Okay.
Hi, Mom.
Okay. So though I am unmanifest, the unwise think of me as having manifestation, not knowing my higher nature, imperishable and unsurpassed. Okay. So that was my translation. Let's see. And I'm open. Hey, bud. But I'm open to changing that. Let's see what other people have said. So Winthrop Sargent, who I largely relied on for my own translation. Though I am unmanifest, the unintelligent, so he has the unintelligent, think of me as having manifestation, not knowing my higher being, which is imperishable and unsurpassed. Not knowing my higher being versus higher nature. I like higher nature, but bhava is often translated as being. It could go either way, because he has, in his notes, he says it could be being, existence, nature. So let's leave it at. I'm going to leave it at nature. All right. So his is basically the same. He just has, for abuddhaya, he has unintelligent versus unwise. And then he has higher being versus higher nature. Swami Sri Atmananda has, because of ignorance, people are not able to realize my unmanifest nature and believe that I have assumed a finite form by birth. They are unable to know me, the Supreme Being, beyond the reach of mind and senses. Now, there's no mind and senses here. Some people have this translation of, going beyond the reach of mind and senses, but it's not here. So I don't know where they got that, but I think people are kind of copying each other, perhaps, with this. So that's Swami Atmananda. Because of ignorance, abuddhaya. I guess he's translating that as ignorance. People are not able to realize my unmanifest nature and believe that I have assumed a finite form by birth. They are unable to know me, the Supreme Being, beyond the reach of minuses. So they think of Krishna as just another human being, it sounds like, and most people cannot fathom what he is beyond his limited form, right? His human form. Now, the meaning is, it's a little different. It does change the meaning. The meaning changes in this. We'll have to go into that, but let's go on, and we'll maybe get into that more as we go along. Sri Purohit Swami, the ignorant, think of me, who am the unmanifested spirit, as if I were really in human form. They do not understand that my superior nature is changeless and most excellent. Changeless and most excellent for avyaya and anuttamam. Unmanifested spirit. It's similar to Sri Atmananda. It does change it a little bit, because this idea of Krishna being in human form yeah, I mean, Krishna is basically, seems to be saying, that I am a human being. People see the manifestation of me here, and they think that this is it. This is the highest. And he seems to be saying that no, there's, my true form is beyond matter, is beyond prakriti, is beyond the form. All right, Swami Shivananda. The foolish think of me, so he has foolish. The unmanifest is having manifestation, so it's similar, knowing not my higher, immutable, and most excellent nature. So he also has most excellent nature for anuttama. Let's see. I think Winthrop Sargent has unsurpassed and incomparable as possible meanings. All right, let's see what other people have. That's Shivananda. Swami Nikalananda, not knowing my supreme nature, immutable and transcendent. So avyaya and anuttama, he has transcendent for anuttama, which I guess is okay, right? It's nothing beyond, unsurpassed, incomparable. Foolish men think that I, the unmanifest, am endowed with a manifest form. Okay. So, for āpanna, he has endowed with a manifest form. Okay. It's similar, it's similar to, he has foolish men for abuddhaya. Some people have ignorant men. I like unwise. Winthrop Sargent has the unintelligent. I figure, why put people down like that? Just say they're unwise. Eknath Eswaran. Through lack of understanding, people believe that I, the unmanifest, have entered into some form. They fail to realize my true nature, which transcends birth and death. Okay, so he took a little liberty there. It's a little poetic license in his translation. Kind of translating anuttama as transcends birth and death. He uses the word transcends, which is what Nikalananda uses, and someone else used that too. Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's similar. It's similar meaning to what Winthrop Sargent, myself, and some others have. I think everyone is pretty much getting to the same essential basic thing here. B.G. Narasingha has my nature is eternal, supreme, and imperishable. Yet less intelligent persons cannot comprehend this and consider me to be the impersonal that has now accepted a material form. Again, it's pretty much the same, more or less, right? More or less. He has less intelligent for abuddhaya. That's a little nicer, and then say unintelligent, right? Or to say ignorant. All right. SupremeKnowledge.org. Foolish people being unaware of my bad, permanent and prime character, considered to have attained the hidden, that is invisible me, Kal, in form like a human being, incarnated as Krishna. That is, I am not Krishna. That was his addition, I guess. I don't know where the bad comes in, unless it's like Michael Jackson bad here. Maybe it's a misprint. Foolish people being aware of my bad, impermanent and prime character, considered to have attained the hidden, that is invisible me. That was a mistake. That was definitely a mistake. Okay, but these are all similar, right? You can see how just having a little mistake can throw off the whole thing. That's why I'm trying to make sure that my translation doesn't have those. But ultimately, with that many pages and so on, you're gonna have misprints and what's it called, typos. And all right, Srila Prabhupada has unintelligent men who know me not, think that I have assumed this form and personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is changeless and supreme. Now, this is a little different in that he does not talk about manifest and unmanifest. He does not seem to directly translate the words avyakta and vyakti here, which I think is problematic because he does not want, unless I'm mistaken, I could be mistaken, he does not want to talk about form and formlessness, or well, he does talk about form, but the unmanifest, right? He doesn't want to talk about the unmanifest. He doesn't want to talk about the formless. He's thinking in terms of the supreme personality of Krishna. Now, and I can understand. I'm not, I think this is a topic of great debate, first of all, and it's not something that we're going to answer here. But he definitely has his own. I don't want to say agenda, but he has his own lineage that he's following, and this is their understanding of, somewhere along these lines of what this means. Now, Jeffrey Armstrong is in the same, kind of the same camp as I understand it. So let's see how he translates it and how it's similar or different from Prabhupada's. Those who have not yet developed the discernment of buddhi think that because I make an appearance within matter as an avatar, I too have come under matter's laws and control. They do not understand that I am beyond the three gunas of prakriti and exist permanently outside the control of time. Now, he also does not really translate avyakta, right? This is a paraphrase in a way. This is the most free translation yet, I think. He's in a way he's doing a translation, but also a commentary, in the sense that he's adding some things to fill it out to help you understand what it's saying. I don't think anything he's saying is wrong, but he's not talking about this. He's not translating that word avyakta, right? He's kind of skirting it. I would say, I have to look at the rest of his translation to really know if that is true across the board with how he's translating, including Prabhupada. But that's partly why I'm doing this, so that we can look at these things more closely and just kind of, because most people don't do this, right? We don't actually look closely at things. And there's that saying, God is in the details, which I think is true to a certain extent, right? That you do have to get into the nuances and the what's it called? The nitty gritty, right? You have to get into the nitty gritty. On the other hand, the devil's in the details, and sometimes these things it's overkill. Maybe what I'm doing is overkill, and maybe this is like just too anal. I don't know. You tell me, right? If anyone's, I don't know if anyone's really even listening to this, but this might just be for myself. But anyway, so I kind of, what I see here is that Prabhupada and Armstrong both are not dealing with that word, right? Avyakta. What is avyakta? And what is vyakti? Ramanuja, not knowing my higher nature, immutable and unsurpassed, the ignorant think of me as an unmanifest entity who has now become manifest. This is also problematic, right? Because it changes the meaning. It seems to suggest that Krishna is not an unmanifest entity who has now become manifest, right? That's how the ignorant think. That the ignorant think that he, they think of him as an unmanifest entity who has now become manifest, and you would think, well, okay, so maybe Krishna is not unmanifest by reading. If you read that, maybe Krishna's higher nature is not unmanifest. So that's problematic. That translation is... Now, of course, you always have to read these in context, fuller context. So, and you also have to read the commentaries. But I'm just saying, just going by the translation, if you didn't have the fuller context and you did not have the commentary of the author or the translator, then I think you'd be confused by that. And I'm not even sure if he is translating it correctly, like he's missing the meaning of it, perhaps. But I could be wrong, because, that's Ramanuja, so who am I to say? But, all right, Mukundananda, the less intelligent think that I, the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, was formless earlier, and have now assumed this personality. They do not understand the imperishable, exalted nature of my personal form. Now this is getting more clearly at this idea that Krishna has a personal form that is exalted. And this seems to be missing the more exact meaning, right? This is like why we're doing this, because this is like, is this correct, or is it correct to read this as Krishna's real nature is formless, unmanifest? Or is it this seems to be missing it. But again, that might be that lineage, that understanding. And there's a lot of things that go into translating this, and each word is really important. Though I am unmanifest, avyakta. Now, it doesn't even have the words though I am unmanifest is not actually there. So I should actually put that in parentheses, right? Because that's not even there. Though I am unmanifest does not say though I am. So it says unmanifest. If unmanifest is really the best translation, right? The unwise think of me as having manifestation. Not knowing my higher nature, imperishable and unsurpassed. If that's true, if that is correct translation, then Mukundananda's is not, right? Can they both be true? I'm not sure. Can God have a personal supreme form and unmanifest form at the same time? It doesn't seem that that's possible. Of course, God can be anything. This is getting more at what is the verse actually saying. Not getting at what is God. We're not really even talking about that. We're talking about what is the Sanskrit actually. What was the author's intention in writing this, right? Swami Tadatmananda, unmanifest before and now manifest, thus the intelligent consider me. They don't know my supreme nature, imperishable and unexcelled. Again, it's misleading, I would say, because unmanifest before. Like you might think that, well, that Krishna is not unmanifest, right? And now manifest. He's neither unmanifest or manifest, maybe, is what you might think, right? He's beyond both unmanifest and manifest, unmanifestation and manifestation. But the verse seems to be saying that the unmanifest form is the imperishable and unexcelled, or anuttamam and avyaya, right? Avyaya. So we got avyakta, we have avyaya, we have anuttamam. Avyaya would be, or avyakta would be unmanifest here. Avyaya would be imperishable. Anuttamam would be unsurpassed, unexcelled. But it seems, the verse seems to say that Krishna's supreme nature is unmanifest. That's what it seems to be saying. Radha Krishna, men of no understanding, think of me, the unmanifest, as having manifestation, not knowing my higher nature, changeless and supreme. Now this is where I would say, right on, brother. Like you nailed it. You nailed it right there, Radha Krishna. He got it, right? That's what I would say about that, right? Whereas these other guys seem to be not. It's unclear from what they're saying, and sometimes they're saying the opposite, right? But for some of them, it's unclear. It's misleading, I would say. Mataji Parama Karuna Devi, the one woman in this whole mix here. Wish I had more, but this is the only woman that I found online. The translator, I mean. Those who are not intelligent believe that the non-manifested, so she's putting non-manifested as opposed to unmanifest, has evolved by becoming manifest. They do not know my supreme existence, nature as the highest imperishable reality. Again, this is possibly misleading. Possibly misleading. What does unmanifest mean? Unmanifest means without a form, without a body, without a maybe even a personality, right? As such. Now this is hard to understand, right? Especially in light of chapter 11. In chapter 11, Krishna reveals his universal form, and obviously he has a form there. But here he's saying, it depends how you understand avyakta. What is avyakta? She has non-manifested. And this idea of it is evolved by becoming manifest. It also depends how you translate this word here. What's the word? Āpanna. Fallen into, changed into. Right? That the avyakta, vyaktim, that's changed into a manifest form. Right? The unwise think that I have changed into a manifest, that the avyakta has changed into avyakta, into a manifest form. That's seems to be what she's saying, right? That they it's understandable why they would get that, from this verse, because it doesn't say, it actually does not say though I am. Those words are not there, right? That's what I have, though I am unmanifest. So if you take out the though I am, and you just have unmanifest, the unmanifest, the unwise think of me the unmanifest, the unwise think of me as falling into manifestation, not knowing my higher nature. it's understandable how they might get that translation, but I would side more with Shivananda and Radhakrishnan here. I think they got it right. They understood. But that might be all of our biases. Who knows? So, Jayadayo Goyanka, not knowing my unsurpassable and decaying supreme nature, the ignorance believe me, the supreme spirit, beyond the reach of mind and sense. Here's the mind and senses again, which I don't know where they're getting this. The embodiment of truth, knowledge, and bliss, that's not there either. To have assumed a finite form through birth. As an ordinary human being, he has in parentheses there. Not knowing my unsurpassable decaying supreme nature, the ignorance believed me, the supreme spirit, beyond the reach of mind and senses, the embodiment of truth, knowledge, and bliss, to have assumed a finite form through birth. So, they seem to be saying that they just see him as a human being, right? They see Krishna as a human being. They don't understand his true nature. All right, let's see what Sir Edwin Arnold. Usually I keep him last for comic relief after all the seriousness. Not comprehending me in my true self, exclamation point. Imperishable, viewless, undeclared. Where's he getting these words? Hidden behind my magic veil of shows, I am not seen by all. I am not known, unborn and changeless to the idle world. Man, that was way off. Way different. No, I don't want to say way off, but it was. But I don't know if I got the right verse there for him. In any case, I think I'll have to look at that again. Yeah, maybe I got the wrong. Let me see if I can find it real quick here. Anyway, I don't know if it matters. I'll try to find it when I do this. When I I'll put everything in the description, so you can take a look at from the description. Yeah, I can't find it right now. So anyway, let's go back one more time. Full circle, coming back. Avyaktam, vyaktim, āpannaṁ, manyante, abuddhayaḥ, param, bhāvam, ajānanto, mamāvyayam, anuttamam. Though I am unmanifest, avyakta, the unwise, abuddhaya, think of me as having manifestation, vyakti, āpanna, manyante, mam, not knowing my higher nature, parabhava, ajānantaḥ, mama, imperishable, avyaya, and unsurpassed, anuttamam. Yeah, bud? Yeah, I think we're done. I think that's good for this one. All right, thanks for tuning in. We'll do another verse maybe tomorrow, and hope this was helpful in some way. I may tweak my translation a little bit, but all right. See you soon. Thank you. Hari Om Tat Sat.